नील गगन सम सांवरा तन कोमल सुकुमार अरुण अधर मुख चंद्रमा नैन रसिक रत्ना तर मुरली कटिकाछिनी गल वैजंती माल मोर मुकुट छवि शोभनी जय यशोदा की लाल जय यशोदा की लाल
Right, they're gonna.
यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना हे केशवा हे माधवा हे केशवा हे माधवा जय श्री राम जय हरे राम जय श्री राम जय हरे राम यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन जयेश्वरं वा नन्दना जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना हे केशवा हे माधवा हे माधवा हे केशवा जय श्री राम जय हरे राम जय श्री राम जय हरे राम यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन जयेश्वरं वा नन्दना जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना हे केशवा हे माधवा हे केशवा हे माधवा जय श्री राम जय हरे राम जय श्री राम जय हरे राम यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन जयेश्वरं वा नन्दना जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना हे माधवा हे केशवा हे माधवा हे केशवा जय श्री राम जय हरे राम जय श्री राम जय हरे राम यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन गोपिकरञ्जन जयेश्वरं वा नन्दना जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना जय ईश्वरं वा नन्दना हे नन्द नन्द गोपाल नन्द नन्द गोपाल 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 हे नन्द नन्द आनन्द नन्द गोपाल
Yeah, sorry. This is good or I can move it? Daddy, come and sit here.
Nand Nand Gopal, He Nand Nand Gopal, Nand Nand Gopal.
Let me the microphone, yeah? That's it.
You want to be there?
I just got on that side.
Yeah. You want to be there?
No,
Yeah,
no.
you want to be here. You want to bring it up?
I'll get a longer section. Get a longer section. You guys bring it back.
I'll start there.
श्री भगवान प्रेम से बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. We join together today in the Antim Sanskar, the last rites of the deceased, Rajo Rampersad. Let me take this opportunity to extend to you, members of the bereaved family, my sincerest condolences on her passing. What can we do, my dear friends, to be of assistance to her at this point in time? If someone is alive and they're next to you, they may need a glass of water, they may need some tablets, they may want to be taken to the doctor. This you can do for them. But when the Jiva Atma, the soul, has left the body, even the most competent of doctors cannot restore life to that individual. That tablet has not been invented as yet to return one from being deceased. The best that we can do for her is to pray. We pray to that Supreme Paramatma, Shri Krishna Bhagavan. We have all come from Him, and unto Him we too shall have to return one day. And so this is how we begin. I invite you to stand as we pray. We pray on her behalf. We pray for the Supreme Paramatma, Krishna Bhagavan blessings will be bestowed upon her. May you, Lord, accept her into your divine embrace and receive God and shelter her against all dangers and difficulties. Hari Om Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Shri Govindaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mukhaṁ karoti vācālaṁ pangūlaṁ vete girim yakripātamaham vande paramanandam madhavam achyutam keshavam ramanarayanam krishna damodaram vasudevam hari sridharam madhavam gopika vallabham Janaki-nayakam Ramachandram bhaje Janaki-nayakam Ramachandram bhaje Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadhavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika-radhikam Indira-mandiram Chetasa sundaram Devaki-nandanam Nandasnam Sandahe Devaki Nandanam Nandanam Sandahe Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadhavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika-radhikam Indira Mandiram Chetasa Sundaram Devaki Nandanam Nandanam Sandahe Devaki Nandanam Nandanam Sandahe. Bole Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Offer the flowers by the foot and bow. Kindly be seated. That's it. We'll do this when we're ready to record now. Offer Chandan. Touch hands, join hands.
From before lift this. Shri by both ends. Shri Khanda Chandanam Abhyam Janhadhyam Sumanoharam
Vilepanam Surashishtam Chandanam under the chin. You put right here, offer the essence. Yeah, what do you want? Then Grahana Devasya, Devanadi, Tumeva Jaganakas, Tumeva Jagatam Prabhu, then Granam, Mayadi, the Woka Vishpada, offer the Mala, Maryadini Sugandhini, Margadini Ve Prabhu, Pushpadanam, Mayadiyati Tavo Patishtadanam, the Arati. Open the hand wide to cover the body. Yamdvari, Mahabhori, Andhini Samasnatam, Deepadanam, Mayadiyati Tavo Patishtadanam. Right? Right. Just for a second, right, give him a finger. Touch it to the body there. Tell this, let me look at. Just hold it for 1 moment. Adhyamo Bhutrasya, Amopitasya, Mata Pitra, Rajo Rampersad Namasya, Pratham Pindaranam, Mayadiyati, Tabu Patishtatam. Hold it with Krishna. Put it in her right hand. Let's move it close. Right. Okay. Sunadam is offered at the time of death. When the Sunadam is offered upon the mouth and the eyes, the nostrils, then it opens the doors, the gates, my dear friends, between here where we are, Scriptural, the planet Earth, and Yamlok, which is the afterworld. And Yamlok, tell me just what that, who see for this? Adhyamo Putrasya, Amopitasya, Mata Pitra, Raju Rampersad Namasya, Sunadanam, Mayadiyati, Tavu Patishtatam. Both it, Shri Krishna Arpanam. And 50 times. So the first one, often on the mouth.
Inside.
Yeah, just the lips. Open my lips is up, right? Both nostrils. Shri Krishna Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Shri Govindaya Namo Namaha, Sunadanam, Mayadiyati, good eyes, Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. You leave the tulsi on the mouth, just on the mouth. Yes. Bow with the foot and the stand one side. Next. Right, you go to the Chandran now. Chandran first. You see the ring finger. Forehead first. Right, like good as. Shrikhanda Chandranam Divyam. Gandhajam Sumanoharam Chandranam. Under the chin. Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Offer the essence. Spirit of the whole body. Gandham Garhana Devasya. Gandhadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Maryadini Sugandhini, Mayahritani Pujaritam Pushpani, Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam, Yamdvari, 5 times, go to the body, clockwise, open your hands wide. Right. Yamdvari Mahabhuri, Andhini Samashvatam, Deepadanam, Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Stand one side here. Next, Chandran. Shri Khanda Chandranam Divyam, Buddhas. Gandhajam Sumanoharam. Under the chin. Right, look at the essence. Spirit of the whole body. Gandham Graham Divasya Gandhridanam Yandabiyati Tayo Patishtatam Dipumana Malayadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam Reality. Yam Dwari Mahagure Andhini Samashnatam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Okay, go. Next, one side, next. Papa Chandan. Shri Khanda Chandanam Divyam. This is what? That is. Chandanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. And also, with essence. Gandham Graham Divasya Gandhridanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Right, Purunala. Malyadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. 5 times. Yam Dwari Mahaguri Andhini Samashmitam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Right, bow. Next, Papa Chandan. Shri Khanda Chandanam Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Chandanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Of worldly essence. Gandham Graham Divasya Gandharanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Purunala. Malayadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Of reality. Yam Dwari Mahaguri Andhini Samashmitam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Stand one side. Alright, so we ask the husband of the deceased, Ramazan, to come forward. But of course, you can't do her arati. When she was alive, she would do the arati. You could offer a mala for her and you can pray. Because of the temple. Offer the mala. Malayadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tayo Patishtatam. Just press both hands together. As you pray for the blessings of Lord Krishna to be with her, that as she would embark upon this journey now into Yamlook, that if there are any dangers or difficulties, obstacles in the pathway, we pray for the removal of these. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskate Prem se boliye Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Just touch your body and return to your seat. Alright, so we want to Sally, the daughters are here, the daughter-in-laws are here. You can come forward now and pay your respects, and then we will invite generally all family members to also come forward and pay their respects to the deceased. So tell me these will offer the flowers. Yeah. Put these on side. We'll offer that in the last. Right, so we distribute the flowers to those who have to come up to pay their respects to the deceased. And whilst you are doing so, we have a few appropriate bhajans in your pamphlet, which we will sing at this point in time. Your sister, right? Yeah, so that's right. So you offer the flowers for those whom you are representing, and after she's finished, of course, we invite others to come forward and also do so. So in your little booklet, we sing Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. All difficulties, all obstacles, problems are removed through the blessings of Lord Krishna. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna कृष्ण हरे। जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। और कोई रखे मनहारा हो, फिर तू ही मेरा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। बोले श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। ऑल्सो इन मकाम कहते इतना करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर तब प्राण तन से। Bless me, O Lord. At that final moment, I will call your name. It is said that those who will call the name or listen to the name of Bhagavan at that final moment of life attains his abode. Shri Ganga ji ka tat ho, Yamuna ka tat nikat ho. Bless me, so I will see you upon the banks of the Ganga and Yamuna. Shri Vrindavan ka thal ho, Vishnu charan ka jal ho. Bless me, so I will get your darshan in Vrindavan. Mukhre mein tulsi dal ho, that the holy tulsi will be placed upon my lips at that time of death. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले. Yeah, we invite other family members and well-wishers to come forward now. We have the flowers available there on the table. If you wish to do arati, the arati is here. You can offer the flower, you can offer the arati and so pay your respects to the deceased. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर जब प्राण तन से निकले. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले. श्री गंगा जी का तट हो, यमुना का तट निकट हो. श्री गंगा जी का तट हो, यमुना का तट निकट हो. और सावरा निकट हो जब प्राण तन से निकले. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले. श्री वृंदावन का थल हो, विष्णु चरण का जल हो. श्री वृंदावन का थल हो, विष्णु चरण का जल हो. मुखरे में तुलसी दल हो जब प्राण तन से निकले. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले. मेरा सावरा खरा हो, तिरछा चरण धरा हो. मेरा सावरा खरा हो, तिरछा चरण धरा हो. बंसी का सुर भरा हो जब प्राण तन से निकले. इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। सिर सोहता मुकुट हो, मुखड़े पे काली लत हो। सिर सोहता मुकुट हो, मुखड़े पे काली लत हो। यह ध्यान मेरे घट हो, जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। जब कंठ प्राण आवे, कोई रोग ना सतावे। जब कंठ प्राण आवे, कोई रोग ना सतावे। यम त्रास ना दिखावे, जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतनी मेरी अर्ज है, मानो तो क्या हरज है। इतनी मेरी अर्ज है, मानो तो क्या हरज है। वह आपका फर्ज है, जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। जब प्राण तन से निकले। जब प्राण तन से निकले। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। It says right there on that same page that the soul is birthless. What is given birth is this human form. And whatever is born, whomever is born must die. The soul, however, is eternal. It has come from the Paramatma, Shri Krishna Bhagavan, and of course at the time of death, at the time of death, it returns to that Supreme Paramatma. This next bhajan speaks of a communication that takes place between the Paramatma, Lord Krishna, and the Jiva Atma, that soul within you and I. Approximately 6 hours before death occurs, the Paramatma, Lord Krishna, communicates with the Jiva Atma that the time of death is approaching. You should make all arrangements to vacate this body. And so, the soul, the Jiva Atma, firstly, severs the mortal coils on the palms of the hand and the sole of the feet. So much so that approximately 6 hours before death occurs, the feet and the hands, the extremities, becomes very cold, what we call ice cold, because the process of death has already started to occur. The Atma is responding to the Paramatma, Lord Krishna. It says, "Hey Meri Atma," Lord Krishna is speaking to the Atma, "come to me. You are my Atma, return to me. Abachal karale milan." It is time for us to meet again. Now that statement implies that we were previously with Lord Krishna. When he says it is time for us to meet again, that implies we were previously with that Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha Lok. He has sent us into this world, be it 50 years, 75 years, 100 years. And when that allotment of time has expired, he says, "Come, it is time for us to meet again." If I see you and I say, it's nice to see you again, that implies I would have met you previously, isn't it? And if I'm seeing you for the first time and I say it's nice to see you again, you might say something wrong with Baba, First time he's seeing me, and he says it's nice to see you again. So the bhajan, my dear friends, contains a message for us all. Bhagavan communicates with us throughout our lifetime. And this communication, this communique, is the final of many that he gives to us to direct us, my dear friends, along that pathway, that dharmic pathway that leads us back to him. Unfortunately, in many, many situations, we ignore the communication because we become so embroiled in the sensual pursuits of this world. And the only time we can listen to that divine communication and receive that divine communication and act upon that divine communication, my dear friends, is when we are constantly in touch with that Supreme Lord. He continuously guides us. He continuously speaks to us. Do not fail to heed the advice and the directives that He gives to us, my dear friends, which is intended to guide us along the heavenly pathway that leads us back into a safe and secure embrace. And I know, in the case of the deceased mother, Rajo Rampersad, she is one who understood this. For a number of years, I have been at this home performing puja. She would call me and say, don't forget, Although she would put the date way in advance. Ensure, she would call and make sure I don't forget the date, And that, my dear friends, is testimony to her devotion, her firm and unwavering belief, that the worship of God is important, is essential to keep us, my dear friends, on that pathway that leads us back to Him. So we sing this better. Jyoti Bindu Paramatma se ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्त का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण ये आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन हो देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे हो देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे कर ले अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु ने चल आज नहाले परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बनकर तू शुभ वर पाले हो किरण किरण को निरख नयन से हो किरण किरण को निरख नयन से हो जा मन में मगन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. So always remember, my dear friends, there will come a day where we too will have to return to the Supreme Paramatma. He is called Jagat Pita, Universal Father. So we have our earthly father and mother, and then there's Jagat Pita, Universal Father and mother. And there is a day that we will have to return to Him and explain how we lived our lives, the manner in which we conducted ourselves. Are we living that life of respect and honor and integrity, respectability? All of these, my dear friends, the years allotted to us, we will one day have to account for these years. Ensure that when that time will come, and rest assured it will come for all of us. Whoever is born must die, we know this. When that time will come and we return to that Supreme Paramatma, that we will be able to give a good account of the time that He has allotted to us. You know, one of the popular bhajans that is sung, Kahe tu aaya jag mein, kya tujhko karna, neki karam kar le, duniya se darna. Those are actually questions. Kahe tu aaya jag mein, question number 1. From where have you come? Question number 2, kya tujhko karna, what are you doing here? So these are very simple questions, right? But you're not looking for the superficial answer that you come from Pinar or Pinar Rakud or Balakpo or the Spain, as the case may be. From where have you come? We have come from Bhagwan. One of the names of God is Narayan. Narayan is actually a compound word. It is made up of 2 parts. Nar means human. Ayan means the abode of. Narayan literally translates into the abode of humanity. So we have come from Narayan. And kya tushko karna? We are trying to go back to Narayan. It's very simple, you know. It's like you leave home in the morning to go to work, to go to school, to go shopping. At the end of the day, the intention is to return home. Can you imagine, my dear friends, not being able to find your way back home? Well, that's precisely what happens when we come into this world and we allow ourselves to become lost, to deviate, to lose and to discard, my dear friends, the scriptural injunctions. When we ignore these at our own peril. So I'll do one more bhajan and then we'll have the eulogy. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. Today, O Lord, darkness has descended upon us. This darkness and distress can only be lifted with your blessings. Allow your blessings, O Lord, to shine upon me like that ray of light that dispels all darkness from my pathway and allow me to travel on unhindered. This is the prayer that we offer on behalf of the deceased mother. One part of the journey has come to an end. From the time of birth until the time of death, we have journeyed through the Bhausagar, the ocean of birth and death. And when death occurs, it's not the end of it all. It facilitates the continuance of the journey now into Yamlok. That journey into Yamlok lasts 1 year. And after that 1 year has expired, Bhagavan Krishna himself says, there will never come a time when you will not be here. I will not always be Pandit, and you will not always be who you are. Dependent on the karma that we perform, my dear friends, it will influence our return into this world either in a positive way or a negative way. Needless to say, when there is good karma, when there is good actions, when there is good lifestyle, our return is positive under good and favorable conditions. And needless to say, if there is bad actions and bad karma, that simply ensures that our return into this earthly planet, this Bhausagar, would be negative. So ultimately, who decides, my dear friends? You decide for yourself, and I decide for myself. Every single day, we are performing actions, we are performing karma. And all of this karma is being recorded against our name. It is said at the beginning of each year, God gives to us a special gift, a book of 365 blank pages. And every single day, we are dictating to Chitragupta what to write in that book. At the end of the year, that Karmic report book is taken back and stored, my dear friends, and those records are presented to us when we come before Bhagavan in the afterworld. So ultimately, it is up to us, whether we create a journey ahead that will be positive, or we create a journey ahead that would be negative. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। भटक रहे हम राह दिखाए, भगवन राह दिखाए। भटक रहे हम राह दिखाए, भगवन राह दिखाए। कदम कदम पर किरण दिखाए, भगवन किरण दिखाए। इन अखियों को प्रभु करारे, इन अखियों को प्रभु करारे। ज्योति से पहचान, ज्योति से पहचान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी। हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी। तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी। तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी। दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी, दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी। ऐसा दे वरदान, ऐसा दे वरदान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। Place your hands upon me, O Lord, and guide me along in that journey. This is the prayer we offer on behalf of the deceased mother. And of course we know this body will be placed into the fire. It will be burnt away to ashes. The ashes will be returned to the 5 elements. So why is the bhajan saying to us, place your hands upon me, O Lord, and guide me along in that journey? Who are you? Are you this physical body, or are you the Jeev Atma? टूट गई है माला मोती बिखर चले, 2 दिन रह कर साथ जाने किधर चले, टूट गई है माला. The true eye is not what you are looking at, not this physical body. Bhagavan says you are neither the hands nor the feet, nor any of the physical attributes of this body. You are consciousness and bliss. He's speaking to all of us. You are that soul, you are that Atma. So what dies? The physical body dies. This body is merely a vehicle, my dear friends, that takes us across this Bhausagar, this ocean of birth and death. And when this part of the journey has come to an end, we enter into a new body, a new vehicle. So this form that we have right now is called the Manushya, the human form. And as Lord Krishna says in the page of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, just as a man would cast aside old and worn-out garments and would wear newer garments, when his body can no longer service to us. So too, this body is discarded. And from today until the day of the Shraddha, the prey is awaiting a special gift. Prey refers to the departed. It is awaiting a special gift that is called a stool sharir, which is an intermediate body. You see, the soul is very tiny. Angush matra, the tip of the finger. It is this tiny form that brings intelligence and vitality and life and action to this body. And when that very tiny form is removed, this body becomes deceased. How can this tiny form bring intelligence to this body, my dear friends? Let us use a technological example. You have a smartphone. And in your smartphone, you would have a tiny SIM card. That's about the tip of the finger, the size of your nail. What happens when you lose a SIM card? Can't make calls, the phone doesn't work as it's supposed to work. A tiny SIM card energizes and makes that phone functional. That tiny Atma makes this body functional and intelligent. So on the 13th day, it enters into the stool sharir, which is that intermediate body that is created when all the pindas and ceremonies have been completed. And only on the 13th day, the pret departs. From now until that 13th day, my dear friends, she remains around the home environment here, the kush grass that will be planted in the morning, receiving the daily offering of Tilanjali and Pinda, which energizes and sustains her until, of course, the time comes for departure into Yamlo. So who dies? The physical body, but the true you is eternal, Ajaramara. The true nature, the true identity of the deceased mother does not die, but rather lives on. Praise Vrindavan Ki Jai. So we woke up to very heavy rains this morning and very heavy flooding as well. In fact, at one point in time I wasn't sure we were able to reach here, but fortunately the flood have receded, and we are here, and of course we all join together in this Antima Sanskar funeral ceremony. So we're going to have the eulogy now.
When you look into your mother's eyes, you know that it is the purest love you can find on this earth. She is the one who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. Namaste, everyone. Pandit Rajendra, family members, friends, well-wishers, all protocols observed. Today, I bring our reflections on our mother, Rajo Rampersad, also known as Mami, Mama, Madam, Bauji, Bauj. She was the matriarch of this family, the nucleus, the core, the beginning and the end. She was born to Jagdev Jagisa and Lakia Jagdev and named Raju Jagdev. Originally from San Francisco, then Mondesi, and finally Pinal Rock Road, when she married Baljan Rajo Rampersad. Together, they have 4 children, Grace, Sally, Ren, Ruddy, and 6 grandchildren, Rehan, Kendra, Akshi, Andre, Avani, and Sanjana. There is so much to say about Raju that this eulogy can only do a small piece of justice. To the person we mourn today. So I just want to focus on the person that she was and the legacy that she left behind and the hearts that she touched. She was the best wife to my dad, better than he could hope for or wish for. She was an amazing cook, housekeeper, caregiver, gardener, and financial controller. She kept her home and children and grandchildren squeaky clean, well fed with hot, fresh, and deliciously prepared food. Our clothes were spotless and luggage filled. She was a firm believer in education, for she never had the opportunity to go to school. She drilled into our minds that an education was the most important thing for us, and so she provided the right environment for us to study and excel. She would give us money to go to school first, before budgeting for food and anything else. And so we listened to her, and all of her children and grandchildren have reached great heights, and her grandchildren are still soaring. She was extremely proud of our achievements and would boast about her children and grandchildren in particular. She loved them more than anything in this world. Rehan and Andre had the honor of being taken care of by her and Daddy. Even on her deathbed, she was always excited to see them. Andre even commented that Mama looked like she could jump out from her bed when she saw them. On a deeper level, she inspired us to become people of quality. She had integrity, good moral values, strength of character, and resilience. She loved God, and she prayed diligently. She taught us by her actions and example to be strong individuals who fight for what is right, to never give up no matter what the circumstances, to plod along this road of life and to look on the brighter side of things. She was the eternal optimist. She taught us courage, fortitude, gratitude, thankfulness, love, and hard work. We all took up her love for gardening and growing flowers, especially my sister Grace, and now my brother Ruddy, the farmer. She was generous, always giving her children money and presents. She always had food to offer everyone who came to her home and whatever she grew and harvested from her garden. She loved to talk, and boy, she could talk. She made friends with everyone, even our friends, and Rajendra can attest to that. She lived a good life, even though her path had many obstacles and hard times. She persevered. Her life took a new lease when she had her grandchildren. She loved them unconditionally, and they were her life. In short, she lived and she breathed for them. Throughout her life, she had some health issues, but was very strong. The worst of them was on May 19, 2021, when she suffered a massive stroke. It made her bedridden. Even in that state, she fought to help herself. It was amazing to see her lying in her front porch, in her wheelchair, when I would drive her. Mama became even more loving. Everyone who cared for her made a deep connection with her and bonded with her and loved her. Even for me, I felt a deeper love for her that I never experienced before. She was also humorous with her comments when she could mutter a few words. She still gave us the look when we annoyed her and colored some and even pushed away others. I think Bibi got the most licks from Mama, but she would make up with her and be loving again. She even laughed at Papa when he fell down with the curtains, bearing in mind that she had lost her speech during the stroke. We continue to celebrate with her in the last year. Birthdays, anniversary, Christmas, Diwali, and our very last Mother's Day. We always brought her to the table to be with us. Ren and Andre made her first bed, and Andre called it her crib. She continued to hold us together. We spared no expenses in taking care of her. We generously gave up our time and activity to be with her. The many weekends, days, and nights that Ren and I spent here with her, taking care of her, we became highly skilled geriatric nurse because she was also on a peg. We did all her night care before we got 24/7 care for her, which was a couple of months afterwards. Even then, we were taking care of all her needs. I prayed with her regularly, lit her deer, did her havan with her, and recited her mantras. The last time being just 2 days before she passed away. She rallied for a year. In March 2022, she got sick and her health took a turn for the worse. She passed away peacefully on Friday, 3rd June, 7:45 a.m. at home after Cindy and I took care of her. There is so much more that we could say about Mama, but we wish her soul a safe journey. I wish to sincerely thank our caregivers, Cindy and Bibi, for what they did for Mama. They rallied with her and gave her the best care, with love in their hearts. I wish to thank my father for having the strength and being here with her day in, day out. That could not have been easy for him. I wish to also thank all my siblings for all that we did and rallied, and we worked together hand in hand for the betterment and giving Mama the best that we could possibly give her. I wish to thank all of our spouses, uncles, aunts, cousins, all family members, friends, neighbors for their tremendous love, support, hard work, and kind words. And last but not least, I want to thank God, because without God and His blessings and Mama's blessing, I could not have done what I did. On that morning when I drove down here, I prayed to Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, and Lord Shiva, because she was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And I prayed for strength first and foremost, so that when I reached here, whatever I encountered, I would have had the strength to follow through. And He granted me that strength. And Mama granted me that strength. And I believe that she was with me every step of the way, because everything worked smoothly and like clockwork. And even any small hiccups, we were able to circumvent it. even the weather to get her death certificate. I prayed and it cleared up. This morning I drove and I prayed for a miracle this morning, and I believe we will get it. So with that I close. Namaste to all of you, and I pass you on to my brother, Ren.
Good morning all. I did not prepare a speech because I don't deserve much more than a speech. I want to start by putting 3 phases of my mom so that you all will understand deeply what my mom became or who she was and how she ended up where she is today. We'll start with phase 1. My mother, Rajo Rampersad, from what she told me and from what I gathered, did not have much of a childhood. Many of you all have children, many of you all have grandchildren. My mom often told me that she had a very hard childhood. She had to take care of her family from the time she was very small. She always wanted to go to school. She regretted not having the opportunity to go to school because, as she said later on, her mother wanted to go outside and garden and do other things, and maybe she had to do that for whatever reasons. But my mom, at the age of 6 years old, had to stay home and take care of her younger siblings and even the older ones. She learned to cook, she learned to wash, she learned housework. So my mother was a housewife at 6 years old. I don't know how many of you will appreciate that, but think about your little children. Right now, those are the signs of those were the things that happened on those times. Everybody had to do their part. But still, she was robbed of her childhood. And in that sense, she developed differently. In some ways, I don't think she fully developed as an individual because she did not get a chance to play and do all the other things that everybody would do and take the time to grow up. She grew up from young. Right? And my Uncle Jago will know better than anybody else here now because he lived through that. And they all worked very hard. And she learned to do hard work from a young age. My mother cannot read, she cannot write. But intelligence, she has abundance of. And anybody will know that, especially my father, my Uncle Jago will attest to it, that she could take $10 and stretch it and make it look like $100 and still have money saved from that. That was the strength and thinking and the intelligence of the woman. Alright? So Raju grew up. In some ways, she did not grow up. And it shaped her. And she learned a lot from growing up because she had to let go of her siblings who went away, who got married and went on. And she learned to be resilient and strong. And she held a few people very dear to her. Her brother Ramnath, who passed away a couple of years ago, was her favorite. And my mom never made any bones or any thing other than to say she had favorites. I don't mean that she loved everybody else less. She loved everybody differently. But she had certain favorites. Right? And growing up, we'll skip a lot of these phases and we'll go to Raju Balchan. Raju Balchan is married to Balchan Babwa. She later changed her name and we'll get to that after. Raju Balchan, left her home very late. She got married very late and she came to live with my dad. And they did not have an easy life. My dad did not have an easy life growing up as well. She did not have an easy life growing up as well. But they came together with one common goal, and that was to make a family, however it was. It was a tough life. They had to make very tough decisions as a team. Things did not go very well for them all the time. But one thing about Raju was her responsibilities and her love and her care for her family in Faizabad in particular never faltered. It didn't have a time that my grandma wasn't sick or not well, or that every opportunity that she got, she would go and visit. My sister Sally grew up with my grandma. It was very hard for her and for my dad to let her go and live with my grandma. But they did it in the best interest because they were struggling. And they got through. And we all got through. And we all learned. But my mom learned, and she knew from very small how to let go while keeping things dear and close to her. Every time her brother's sister came from overseas to visit, my mom would be pack up and she would go. She didn't show her responsibility to her kids or her husband, but she would pack up and go to make sure that she did what she could, which is to take care of, because that's what she was, a caretaker. She would take care of all her siblings, she would take care of my grandmom. They didn't have a time, and my dad was so supportive, he never questioned or never said, no, you cannot do that. Growing up, as kids, Sally touched on it, but I'll mention some more. My mom, she was a very brisk woman, cook, clean, wash. By the time 10 o'clock, lunch was ready, house was clean, spotless. In her older age, she still thought she could do it. And she did it to her best of her abilities, but it wasn't the same. But she always kept a clean household. Spotless, well put out, well put aside. That was my mom. Right? So, when we were young, I don't know some rest of my siblings, but I can speak for myself. I did not have a want or a need in this world that wasn't provided. I had one shirt, 2 shirts and 1 pants growing up. And I felt like I had everything I needed. Why? Because my mom always taught us, this is what you have. This is good enough. You know, she never made us feel like we were poor. I never felt like I was poor. I always thought I was middle class until I went to university. Why? Because they provided. They didn't have a time we didn't get food. They didn't have a time that we didn't get our books. They didn't have a time that we didn't get anything. And she would still take $25, $30, go to the market, buy all the goods for the next few weeks, and still have time to buy jalebi, doubles, or rice cake for us. How did she do it? God only knows. But she was blessed in that way with money, that she could take it and make it stretch far, far, far. Jumping ahead a little bit, my mom taught us education was everything. She often said, and she said, I cannot give you all anything else except your education. And she trusted us. She trusted us implicitly to do our work. I know from nowadays, if somebody tell their kids, okay, go and pick up your book and do your homework now, and then you can go and play. They will go and play. But my mom entrusted us that responsibility, that we go and we do our work. They were never abusive. Yes, the occasional little slap and stuff, but my mom was never abusive. Right? She would speak to us, and sometimes the words would hurt more than the licks. But she never had one bad bone in her body. My mom was a talker, and she would talk and talk and talk. And that same mouth would get her in trouble sometimes with other people. But at the same time, understand this. While my mom head was set, her heart was even bigger, and she would be easy to forgive anybody. My mom QTC, quick to cry, because she felt for everybody. She felt their pain. She understood. She would reach out to people who she was enemies with, because she was really enemies with them. Her mind often dictated what she said, but her heart dictated what she did. And that is a very important lesson for us to learn as well, that she taught. Okay? Jumping ahead again, Rajo Rampersad. This is when we all grew up. My mom finally changed her name so that all of us would have the same name. Alright? That identity that she entrusted in us as siblings, and we must never be at war with each other and all that. We grew up and we achieved and we went out into the world. And that left her and my father to develop their relationship. Because they did not have an easy relationship while they were growing up. But towards the end, they had a beautiful relationship. Right? And I want to speak about my mom and all the suffering she had over the years. But her medical suffering started in her late 60s, 70s. My mom had appendicitis, she had surgery for that, she had a bad knee, she had cancer. Most of you all may not know because she didn't share. She had breast cancer, she was a survivor of that, and lastly she had a stroke. And she would still be surviving today. Right? The thing is, my mom started to get tired. Resilient, yes. She showed that resilience from coming back from where she was in that stroke, where nobody else would have, very few people would have survived that. But I want to say today that I asked her to fight. And I asked her to be strong. I asked her to get better one day at a time. And she did that. And today I stand before you all. And I'm not crying. I'm not sad. Because before I left home, I saw my mom. My mom did not suffer for the year that she had this stroke. But I saw that she was tired, and I saw that she was ready. And I asked her to go peacefully and go and rest. Because for years she had worked and worked and worked and worked and worked her whole life. Even when we come home here, she would just jump up and cook. Yeah, anything. We must eat something. She must give us something to go with. So this year that I had with her, she gave me the opportunity to give back the little that I could, to take care of her the best way I could. And my siblings, I will not speak for my siblings, I will not speak for my dad. We all know how hard they worked, and they all know how hard they worked to take care of my mom. Right? And all the caregivers, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for taking care of my mom. But I want to say that in my mom later years, she went through a whole lot of medical issues, running by the doctors, all that stuff. I want to single out in particular Kim for the years of hard dedication, dropping whatever she did, whatever she had going on, whether she had Tristan going to school and all that stuff and work and all that. They didn't have a time when I wasn't here, that she didn't drop everything that she was doing time and time again. Money, time, effort to take care of my mom. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know this was duty, but it was more than duty. It was genuine love for my mom. I want to thank my Uncle Raju for the years that my mom and my dad had hard times, and she would go and live with my Uncle Jago, that he would not bat an eyelid, he would take care of her, he would give her his paycheck, and she would do the same as what she did home here with my dad. And he will attest it any day that he didn't know how he could save so much money and how the whole household can be taken care of so easily. Uncle Jago, my late Uncle Sonny, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for taking care of my mom and taking care of us by extension. There's no deeds that we can do to repay you all for that. And my mom knew that she worked hard and she took care of you all, and she thought in her mind that it was deserving of her because of what she did. But it wasn't because of what she did, it was because of her good heart. And she had a big heart. I want to thank Glenn and Diane. I don't want to single out everybody because I can thank everybody for everything. But Glenn and Diane, for the latter years, for taking my mommy to temple and indulging her in all that she needed to do spiritually to gain the strength to move on in this world. And she did that. And I cannot repay you all enough for that dedication and that caring that you all did to be able to do that. I want to thank Cindy and Didi for taking care of my mom and loving her and representing us when we could not be here to do what we had to do. The honor was great, the honor was unbelievable, the love and the caring that the little that I could have done to give back to my mom for all the hard work that she did. I want to thank Pamela for opening her doors when my mom was in between homes. And opening her doors and taking care of her mom as if it was her own mom. I want to thank Bonnie for all the help in trying, getting people and sourcing everybody best that we could and being there for supporting. All my cousins who, it's too much to mention, over the years who have shown my mom love and support. Serene, who has opened doors to her time and time again, she knows she was always welcome. Wherever her sister, wherever Serene was, she was always welcome. Right? And today again, I smile and I thank my mom for being the rock that she was and for instilling in us all the values that made us who we are today. And that's it. I love you, Mom, and I know you will reach with God because of your big heart.
Thank you, Ren and Sally. Of course, both contributions there. You get a very clear picture of the wonderful person, the wonderful mother, wife, grandmother that she was to her family. And what struck me, is that she wasn't able to read and write, but yet she produced brilliant children, who have excelled academically, who are distinguished in their fields. Today we have educated parents who say they can't cope with what the children do in school. And here you have a mother who could not read, who could not write, but who together with the father, Balshan, would have produced 4 distinguished children and of course grandchildren as well. This in itself is a lesson for us, my dear friends. Her devotion to God would have assisted her and guided her in achieving this feat. In contrast to what's happening today, where we have all the available, information and internet, everything is at the touch of your finger now, all the information is there. Yet parents who are very educated today are struggling with the children who are in school and trying to guide them. And today we have a high rate of dropout from schools, and you know it all, you see the fighting and the violence in schools and what is happening, my dear friends. So this is testimony to the wonderful life here. So we're going to go on to make the final offerings. So we will guide them. 5 of you will reassemble on the side of the body here. We have flowers there. Assist them in Sally, you and other family members that come. We're going to decorate the body. We're going to use one of the flowers, decorate the body beautifully. You have the essence, you have a perfume here. Use it out. And whilst they're doing that, making the final offerings, we will continue to pray on behalf of the deceased one. We dedicate this bhajan to the deceased mother, Rajo Rampersad. तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो साथी तुम्ही सहारी कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारी तुम्ही हो साथी तुम्ही सहारी कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारी तुम्ही हो नैया तुम्ही खिड़ैया तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो जो खिल सके ना वो फूल हम है तुम्हारे चरणों के धूल हम है जो खिल सकेला वो फूल हम है तुम्हारे चरणों के धूल हम है दया की दृष्टि सदा ही रखना तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो. And this bhajan says the mother is more than just mother. Mother is sometimes father to us. She is brother and friend to us. She is a source of support to us throughout our lives. And even when she is not here, she still continues to support us. Did you take the perfume as well? There's a perfume. Use it out? There's a perfume over here. You need to spare that. To do one final bhajan, this is final offerings are being made onto the body. Pinjare ke panchire tera dard न जानी कोई tera dard न जानी कोई. When the cage is open, is left open, what happens? The bird flies away. At the time of death, the Atma, the soul, escapes from this physical body. बाहर से तू खामोश रही हो, भीतर भीतर रोई रे, हे भीतर भीतर रोई, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई. कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे. विधि ने तेरी कथा लिखी, आंसू में कलम डुबोई, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई. छुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। ये पत्थर का देश है पगले, कोई न तेरा होए, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई। पिंजरे के पंछी रे, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई, तेरा दर्द न जानी कोई। पिंजरे के पंछी रे। बोले श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Flowers for the final Ashirvad and blessings. Let us all stand. Finally, we pray to the Supreme Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, Krishna Bhagavan, to continue to pray for his blessings, to be bestowed upon the deceased mother, Rajo Rampersad, today, as we did farewell to her. We pray that Divine Lord Krishna will place his protective hands upon her and guide her along in her journey to the road, removing all obstacles and impediments from her pathway. Very simple, let us chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We bow our heads now in this final prayer. Annadhiro Dhana Vishnu Sankachakra Galadharam Apado Pundari Kaksham Rakshatvam Sarvato Disaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidyadravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. बोले श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. Alright, so we're making preparations now for departure to the mosquito creek for creation.
I keep them going with me, I just need to know. Going with me. Yeah. Right, okay. Alright, I just need to know. Yeah, correct.
Rehan, you go with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to the they say you just read past
Yeah. A little different. Yeah, we have to get up. Wait, 2 cars before over there. Yes. Did you
Get some Victoria.
We have a pin that to offer anybody who is ready to serve. So when I get in the position, yeah. So you lead in with राम नाम सत्य है, 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 राम नाम सत्य है। राम नाम सत्य है, 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 राम नाम सत्य है। Line up. Yes, one side. Everybody stand on one side. Make it one side. You can do that. Easier. Put your hands. Get ready for that. Alright, so we have our final bhajan. What is it? Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo Dukhtare Jai 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 Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko Dukhtare Jai 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 Krishna Hare Jab char taraf diyara आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न तेरे मनहारा हो फिर तू ही मेरा पात्र जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे पूरे श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय So we offer a final prayer now before the body is placed into the fire. We pray that Lord Krishna would accept the body of the deceased mother, Rajo Rampersad, he will not accept them to Hari Om Annadhino Dhana Vishnu Sankachakra Garadhara Apuru Mundalilabham Rakshatam Sarvato Visaha Om Asatu Ma Sadramaya Jamasu Ma Jyotirgamaya Kritur Ma Amritam Ramaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Boliye Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai Satya Sanatana Dharma Ki Jai
you know, your political smart itself. So, but I need to go on.
Ram Nam Satya Hai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Right. Well, there's a Chavya there. If that Chavya looks at everything, sun it. Hari Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Swaha Shri Rameshwaraya Namaha Swaha Shri Jagannadevaya Namaha Swaha Shri Suryaya Namaha Swaha Shri Somdevaya Namaha Swaha Shri Chandradevaya Namaha Swaha Shri Buddhadevaya Namaha Swaha Shri Brihaspati Devaya Namaha Swaha Shri Shukradevaya Namaha Swaha Shri Shani Devaya Namaha Swaha Shri Rahu Devaya Namaha Swaha Ketu Devaya Namaha Swaha Shri Yamarajaya Namaha Swaha Shri Dharamrajaya Namaha Swaha Shri Chitragutaya Namaha Swaha Shri Pritvahaya Swaha Shri Pritsanghaya Swaha Shri Pritvinipaya Swaha Shri Prithatri Swaha Mata Pitra Rajo Rampersad Namasaya Swaha. What was her father's name? Jagdev Jagisar. Pita Pitra Jagdev Jagisar Namasaya Namaha Swaha. What was her mother's name? Latia Jagdev. Mata Pitra Latia Jagdev Namasaya Namaha Swaha. Sarva Pitra Devaya Namaha Swaha. Shri Ishta Devaya Namaha Swaha. Shri Kul Devaya Namaha Swaha. Prajapataye Namaha Swaha. Lokpal Devaya Namaha Swaha, Dasdikpal Devaya Namaha Swaha, Sarvadevi Devaya Namaha Swaha. Right hand. Sarvatirat Samayukta Sugam Ashram Mayadatam Grahana Parameshwaram. You can light up the Lokala now. Yes, I'm right. As you know, you're going around the fire 5 times, right? Each time you come back here, touching the fire. Only on the 5th circumambulation you'll begin to do it. Anyway, right? Touchy flame and pass it. What you close it? Keep it low. Keep it fire low. Touchy fire as it were. You must touchy fire. Yeah, right there. Leave it on the chest. Where you see the character. Then you have two flags there. Just do you take out the two flags on the side. Go on. You see that on the side? Yeah.
Well, next up to the mother, originally she used to live in Safari.
Okay.
The sympathy drama and all the best, right?
Yeah, thanks.
You take an upgrade, boy.
So what you do here is what you have to do in the morning. Right? Up until actually. But in the morning, you can mix it in that area. But in the morning, you won't use milk. You will use water. Water, black tea, white rice, and white rice. Right? So you offer something.
You will we get our way? Yeah, well, I thought I was going to see when there was baby only. Sit down, but everything good. I'll never get Sahina today, boys. I'll never get Sahina today.
The perfume. When I'm born in still, yellow. Still looking bad.
Ready? 有一动作。Go down, go down.